Hi, guys. I'm Marianne Goldweber. I'm the owner of a village personal and spiritual development, and I'm coming live to you tonight for my video podcast called Marianne's House. It's inspirational. We talk about what's going on in our world, and sometimes I take call ins, sometimes we have special guests. You never know what's going to happen. But I'm looking forward to being with you guys tonight. So I usually give everybody a little minute to get online here so that we can have an interactive event. So I'm looking forward to that. If you guys have any questions, just put them in the notes and I'll address those as we go along. And I always say hello to everybody too. So I'm looking forward to tonight. Here we are. Hi, Dee Dee, Anne, and Deb. So I normally just give it a little minute. Thanks for joining me, guys. I'm looking forward to this evening. Whatever it is that comes up in our topic of conversation. Oh, well, I'm glad your surgery's over, Dee Dee. Are you feeling okay? Better? Recoup is always hard. Hi, Sue. Rehabbing is always hard, but it's definitely time to take care of you. Yeah, so the village, it's so funny. The village is not currently technically a place, but it is definitely a group of people that know me and have had interactions with me over the years. A lot of people just follow me, so I've never really met in person, but um, yeah, but we are a community. Hi, Joy. So I had my first COVID shot, and I'm getting my second one, I think, on the 27th of this month. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to definitely put us all back out in the world a little bit better than we have been. And the weather's breaking here in Cleveland, Ohio. And so, that's going to lift everybody's spirits as well. Just being able to get outside without, freezing your tail off. Hi, Claire. Yeah, so yeah, a lot of good things are coming. I just want to get you guys a little inspired and talk about whatever you want to talk about tonight. Spiritually inclined. We'll talk about astrology, we talk about dreams, we talk about all kinds of fun things. So if you guys have any questions you'd like me to answer while I'm on air, go ahead and just put them in the notes and I'll read those as we go. My phone is actually probably going to die, so I'm going to have to do it, on here. So make sure that you make sure you put that on there so that I can see it. Well, anytime we're rehabbing, Dee has indicated that she just got done post surgery and she's rehabbing, moving slow. Well, it's about really learning how to care for ourselves and how to nurture ourselves, and having those downtimes is just really important so that we can, you know, heal well. There's no rush. Easy does it, so they say. That's what they say. Hey, Linda and Lori, and oh, Linda's. We have a couple of Lindas tonight. Well, hi, Eileen. Gosh, it's nice to see everybody on here. Y'all surviving? Because that's what this is about. And surviving and thriving. That's what we're going to do. So last week we had the new moon, and it was a tough one. Um, there was, it brought up a lot of, things that we need to purge. And we're coming to the end of some of these cycles. So the moon's a 28-day cycle. So when we have the new moon, it's the end and beginning of the next 28-day cycle. Actually, 29.3 days, actually. And so that new moon is all about purging. So a lot of things were coming up that people hadn't really addressed. So it was very emotional. And it's in Pisces, okay? So we're very emotional people. I'm a Pisces. And so yeah, it's all about spirituality. It's all about good ideas, new ideas. So I don't know if you guys got anything you want to share about that. But that's why today feels so much better. So because the new moon was Saturday, it usually has a 3-day window on either side of it where you still feel kind of affected by it. And so the effects of the full moon were over. Let's see, what's today? Wednesday? Probably Tuesday, yesterday. So yeah, today feels so much lighter. I think everybody slept a little better last night. So again, I don't sleep well during the full or new moon because it's a very spiritually active time for me. And so, yeah, sleep is always pretty elusive, and I always get crazy dreams and things like that. So yeah, so that happens. And so today felt way lighter. Feels like, something lifted. And that's really kind of what it is. So that moon, the pull on the water on the planet, the moon pulls that, so that's why our emotions come up, because we're what, 80 some percent water. And so yeah, so that moon can affect the ocean and the tides. Why can't it affect the water in our body, right? So that's really why we celebrate those moon cycles, because they are those ebbs and flows in our life that are, making us emotional. And then while we're emotional, we're purging out and letting go and making a process of assessing. And then, we feel better. We feel better when it's over. So yeah, so today was a definitely feel better day, especially for me, I slept really well last night. Finally. I don't remember what I dreamt though. So we'll get back in gear here. But, there's a lot of chaos in the world, although a lot of it has subsided. We're finally we've turned a corner when it comes to, um, getting things moving, getting all these vaccines out, people feeling relieved, for a lot of reasons. But there's still a lot of damage control and cleanup that's going on right now. And as we head back out into that world, that's kind of what I would talk about tonight is, so, who and what do you want to be as we venture back out into this world, creating a new system of normal, what that is. So it's going to be slow going, and it's going to be a process. So we want to be gentle with it. But, we also don't want to go back and complicate our life again like we did before. So, looking at what did we learn during this time of being isolated, and in the winter, of course, it's all about hibernation as well. And and so yeah, that's what we're looking at. What do we really want? What seeds do we want to plant for spring? Philosophically speaking. So anyway, oh, I had a thought and it went straight out my head. Oh, so just so you guys know, if you miss these videos, I actually upload them all to my YouTube channel. So I have a channel on YouTube called Marianne Goldweber. And if you subscribe to that and have your friends subscribe to it, you can get all the past videos that I've done. So if you want to watch the ones about leadership or dreams or grief or whatever, I've uploaded all of those to YouTube. So you can always go back and watch those again and again or whatever. If you guys get anything out of these videos, so you get anything out of the videos that I put up on Facebook or, excuse me, YouTube as well, there's a donate button, so every little bit helps if you feel like you get something out of it and you want to throw me a couple bucks. But I'm seriously looking forward to being back out in the world, doing more service-oriented work, getting back to work, those kinds of things. It's going to be slow going though, guys, because I'm not going to, even though I'm vaccinated, it's going to be a process for all of us to get back out there and create any, new normal. So I'm looking forward to the weather breaking, so at least we can meet in public out, together. And so yeah, we're all navigating, and it's going to take a little bit of time, for us to kind of come out of that cave like a bear, like coming out going, oh, winter was tough. What's going on out here in the world, And so it's like, yeah, stretching and, just kind of being gentle, heading it back out into the world. So, yeah, it's coming, and I'm looking forward to it, you know, manifesting faster, so that everybody can get, the vaccine or, if that's what you choose to do. Again, I've been inoculated with and had every flippin' childhood disease that came down the road. So again, I don't want to die. I don't want anybody else to die. So, I, I'll go first. I'm not afraid. So anyway, so let's see who we got on here now. Need inspiration. Feeling a little stagnant lately. Not a heavy feeling, but a frustrating feeling just the same. Hopefully brighter skies will help. Exactly. So it has been very stuck because we were in the sign of Capricorn until February 21st. I'm sorry, Aquarius. So this is really all about visioning, so Pisces is all about the vision, it's all about spirituality. So we have been very stuck for a while. We've had a lot of planets that were retrograde that are now gone direct. So we don't have all that upheaval in that way. Everything's already been upheaved. Now it's just the cleanup, trying to connect the dots and, put everything to rest and put it in the garbage can. So, and that's what we're doing, is we're clearing the road so that we can see what we need to build going forward. So yeah, there's always destruction before construction. So if this last year was not evidence of that, I don't know what is. And so, Jante, just so you know, the energies were stagnant, okay? And we just came out of that new moon. So the new moon is all about stopping and death. It's kind of like PMS and then, your menstrual. So it's really about stopping and purging and preparing for the seeds of creation. So that stopping, or that being forced into stillness on the new moon, feels very stuck. But rather than seeing it as stuck, what we need to see it as almost like an opportunity for a timeout to really assess where we've been and what we want to create. Okay, and that happens every 28 days. So, however, what we've experienced last year is people purging out their whole life. Like, they were forced into a year-long stillness that revealed a lot of truths. Okay, and not everybody liked that. Okay, and as I said, and I say it in other videos, the truth will set you free, but first it will piss you off. Seeing the truth of a situation is not always easy because, you know, um, we've had a lot of truths and awarenesses that have been brought to our attention in our own life and in the world. And so, what are we going to do about it? That's really the bigger question. So, this is a wonderful time for finishing up those details of things that you want to be finished with and clearing that road. We've already had this and that and this and that. And now that we've had it, what do you want to keep? What do you want to get rid of? What new things do you want to create? This is a wonderful time where we're going to start talking about manifesting. Okay. So, manifesting first, you can't manifest because you've already manifested everything in your life, good and bad. We manifested all of it, because there's lessons in it and things for us to learn. So, now that you've experienced the things you've manifested, how can we get way more selective about what we ask for? And again, being grateful for what we already had, because the universe really can't give us more if we're not honoring what we've already received. So, donating things physically, getting rid of, emotional things that we've been keeping in a closet, purging out those things and taking the lessons from it, and being willing to change, being willing to say, yeah, I chose really shitty and I'm going to choose better. And what did I learn from that about myself? What did I learn about other people? And so that's what we're going through right now. And that's why it still feels a little stuck, Shantae. So don't be surprised. Yeah, the last few days have been very different. But today is way lighter. Oh my God, I feel like a big, you know, weight was lifted. Hey, Kate and Marty. Hey, Marty. Oh my goodness. I miss all of you guys. Claire, why am I still comfortable in chaos of my own makeup? So Claire's asking a question. Why am I still comfortable in chaos of my own makeup? Well, because it's familiar. Because we've been doing it forever. And so it takes time to really unwind. It takes time to unwind where we learn chaos from. We were learned to adapt to chaos, not eliminate chaos. Okay, so our brain takes time to heal and unwind that. And that's why, quite frequently, a lot of people will need a professional to help them through that healing, whether it's physically from a physician, emotionally from a mental health professional, helping them unwind where we learned chaos from. Because we come here peaceful. We're taught to be chaotic. We're taught to compromise ourselves to fit into other people's and society's chaos. And what we've learned through this time out is that what an illusion that chaos really is. Okay, so now that we feel more empowered, I think, to be more selective about what energies I align with, what energies I give my energy to, and I don't hang out with chaotic energy. Well, I mean, I have to be in chaotic energy to do this work, because when people are in trauma or people are in grief, yep, I'm opening that Diet Coke. When people are in trauma or those things, that is a ton of energy, chaos, and that's what I'm helping them do, is come to this higher perspective that unravels that chaos, and we get rid of it so we can find the peace. So, peace is a constant state. Chaos is an add-on, so we can actually remove anything that is of chaos, whether that's in us, maybe we're the chaos, and so learning to be peaceful, learning how to decompress, learning how to process where we've been is a process. And sometimes it takes, different practitioners to help you learn how to not be either addicted to it. There's 12-step programs for that, as well as, you know, really creating peaceful environments for ourselves so that we can learn how to, well, it's almost like defragging a computer. It's like sorting through information and creating new patterns. That takes time. Yep, yep, yep. Who else we got? Hey, Paige, Marty, Sue. Sue says, I am registered and waiting for the date for my vaccine. I am a Pisces and I'm feeling a little edgy. I thought for sure I would break. Well, and that's it. The more spiritual tools you have, the more faith you have, the less reactive that we are to the upheaval in the world. So it's not mine. I'm not going to react to it. It took me 20 years to clean off my road. Okay. And so once you have this spiritual understanding, there's very little that can disrupt your peace when you have faith. Because I trust that no matter what's going on out in that world, that the universe is on it, and they don't need Marianne Goldweber out there swirling around in it. And so having that level of faith allows me to control what I actually have control over. Lately we've only had this little space to work in, and so you do your best with what you've got, and then we start working that way, getting creative about things. So yes, it was a very edgy this weekend, and so today it's feeling a lot more peaceful. So I hope that brought you some peace, Sue. Hey, Dennis, Lisa, Stephanie. So Stephanie says, I just smudged my entire home today. Energetic spring cleaning. Exactly. So this is a time where we've had the cave all buttoned up, and March is the big winds month, okay? Which we haven't had a lot. We had some the other day. But this is a wonderful time to clean your windows, open your windows, let that air just, the wind itself is clearing, okay? So you don't necessarily have to burn sage or anything. Just open your windows and just do a big spring clean. When we're cleaning or we're honoring our space by cleaning it and purging out things, we're infusing it with gratitude and love. And so all those other energies just go. See, it's a wonderful time to smudge. So for those of you that don't know what that is, smudging is the act of using smoke, usually from sage or other plants like sweetgrass or other things, to use that smoke to neutralize or clear energy in spaces or on yourself. Hey, Connie, Adrian, Denise. Well, thank you guys. Hey, Dawn. Code of depression. And everyone, I unbutton it. I feel like I'm wearing a coat of depression. Well, yes. So what Dawn's saying is that feels like she's wearing a coat of depression, not necessarily hers. Sometimes that cave and that depression can become oddly comfortable. Okay. And so sometimes we got to take baby steps, just unbutton the coat and walk around in it. We're using these metaphors, by the way, guys. And then maybe take it off for a minute, but it takes effort to step out. Depression is lack of action quite frequently, and we haven't had a lot that we've had control over, or felt that we had purpose. So it is depressing. And like I said, the more you clean out your closet, the more you get excited. I want people to start getting excited about creating new things. So yes, it has been very depressing. People have experienced a lot of death and grief during this process of shutting down. So quite often, we've got a lot of things that we've got to wrap up and finish. And if I can help with that, just schedule a session, and it's something that we can help you work through and understand, so that sometimes we have to have funerals for things, not just people who've passed away, but situations as well. A lot of things have come to light during this upheaval and awareness. I mean, it was like taking a pot of soup and stirring it. Everything came to the surface. Things that people didn't even know were going on. I mean, I have had more people deceived. More people have woke up in the middle of holy crap craziness, other people's craziness. And, look at our society. I mean, we have been technically sleeping. So awakening is like waking up going, how long has it been like this the whole time? Okay. And so there's a lot of new awarenesses. And again, when you first wake up from any awakening, it initiates a grief process. And that grief process is denial, anger, sadness, surrender, acceptance, and they don't come in order. And so this year has been fraught with deaths. Things change. And everybody's in a grief process. Everybody. Okay. And so that's why we got to not necessarily react to the folks out there, because everybody's having some kind of an awakening, and not everybody's liking it. In fact, some people just want to go back to sleep and pretend it's not even happening. Okay. Well, that doesn't work for long. So that's kind of where we're at. All right. Hey, Tracy, Laura. It's nice to see everybody on here. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. So yeah, just staying motivated, staying inspired is not easy. So I do all kinds of fun things to keep myself inspired. I watch motivational videos. I listen to music, and that's another huge aspect of my life. Poor Jared was going to be on here with me tonight, but he had to work late. So we'll probably get him on next week. Um, so my son Jared is a musician, and this has been so awful for creative people. I mean, hopefully they've been utilizing this time to really get inspired by some of the events that are going on in our world to create, whether it's music or art or, some inspired expression of what we've experienced in this last year. I'm hoping there's a ton of new music and a ton of new art that's coming out of this. That people have taken the time to really sit and be able to be creative, or have utilized that time to do that. It's not been easy. But again, music and, it's just like me channeling. And that's something that I wanted to talk to Jared about. And I'm probably going to have a couple other people on there. But that meditative act of creating creates, inspired thought, divine thought. And then we express it in whatever our talent is. For me, channeling is about taking nonverbal communication and channeling that into words for you. And I have to go in that, what we call the zone, or the in-between place where that kind of happens. So it's kind of like dreaming and sleeping and talking all at the same time. And that's, what I try to teach people how to do, is to learn to be still, learn to tap into that, that place, so that you can get all these good ideas. Where do you think that's where all these good ideas come from? I mean, we like to think those are our ideas. Those ideas are actually gifted to you. So whether you don't do it or you do it, that's like the universe saying, hey, maybe you ought to do this. You're like, nah, not today. I'm not going to do it. I'm not feeling like it. Okay, these are divinely inspired ideas. So just do what you're told and see what happens. I mean, you'd be surprised if you can really silence yourself to get into that place. Deb says, I have been dreaming more lately, but when I wake up, I can't remember what I dreamed. Why is that? It's interesting. I went and bought a Fitbit, and it records how I sleep. Okay, so when you look at the flow of sleep, what happens during your sleep time? You go into deep sleep first, then you come up into REM and light, and you vacillate between those during the night. So REM is where you dream. Okay, so if you're not in REM long enough, you're not in that restorative place of sleep where dreaming occurs. with REM, which is rapid eye movement. That's how you can tell somebody's dreaming. Is they look under their eyelids, their eyes are going like this. Okay, and that's a level of brain activity that is where dreaming occurs. So sometimes we're just not sleeping well. So I offer a dream class once a month. So the early part of March, if you go onto my website, you'll see the calendar of classes. Sign up for dream interpretation. We not only talk about how to interpret dreams, but how to dream better, how to get better sleep. We talk about the holistic process of sleep and dreaming. And so it's a wonderfully informative class. And I just did one of these talks about dreams. If you go onto YouTube, there's one titled Dreams. So I would definitely go on there and take a look at that. So staying inspired, it's hard, but like I said, I get inspired by watching music, inspirational videos, funny things. Like I talk a lot about death and trauma all day long. So I have a very hard time watching anything that doesn't have a happy ending. So for me, it's about watching, movies. I'm a huge movie buff, but I like happy movies or movies that they may even start out tragic, but they have a happy ending. I'm okay with that. So there's lots of things that inspire me. Um, Meditating and channeling, I do that all day, every day. So when I'm channeling for you, I'm actually channeling for me too. And I also channel for myself. But the universe doesn't need to tell me what to do. I have a toolbox. I know what to do. I know if I do this, then this is going to happen. If I don't do this, then this is going to happen. And that's the beauty of this is once you have that toolbox and you use those tools regularly, the universe doesn't have to tell you what to do. Okay, they offer you suggestions, for things I can't necessarily see. But yeah, so the more you clear out your road and take out that toolbox and start using those things, the smoother things go and the more inspired you are. So for me, this life isn't about acquiring things. This life is really about creating experiences and leaving experiences. So I want to leave you, my son, lots of people. I want to create experiences with people, because that's what we remember. It's not all the useless shit in Grandma Susie's house that we want. We miss her, and the things we remember are the funny parts, the things that didn't go right, or just whatever experiences we've had with people. And so we've been so busy, distracted by this living that we've been doing, which is really getting up, going to work, go to bed, get up, go to work, go to bed. You know, there's not been a lot of room for spontaneity. We haven't really scheduled those things of what's really prioritizing what's important to us. So now hopefully you guys will make a list. I would make a list too. What's important to me? What do I want from my life? There's things that I can do now. There's things that are going to have to wait. But the things that get me inspired are so lately for me, getting inspired is looking at properties, looking at places to live, because I'm actually in search of a space. So if I'm just telling the universe this, so what we say out loud manifests is part of the manifestation process. So I'm looking for a live workspace that has some property, not necessarily a lot. Lease with option would be great. And yeah, if you know anybody who has an old farmhouse or an outbuild, with an outbuilding or a big enough house, just where I can do some events and create outdoor space for us to get together, that'd be great. So if you guys think of anything or know anybody who's got a property for lease or who wants to do a lease with option agreement, let me know. So yeah, give them my number. It's on my website, which is mariannegoldweber.com. What else we got on here? Do you guys have any questions? Anything you want to know? I can channel for a couple of you. Now if you've already had a reading with me or recently, or you and I've already talked on another program like this, don't, yeah, I'd prefer you not have to revisit that. Give everybody else a chance. Dawn, I would definitely open your windows and clear out your house. So Dawn was saying with her coat of depression, every time she unbuttons it to take it off, she wraps it tighter. Well, sometimes it's just because it's protective too. So clear the energy in your house. Open the windows, just say this energy's got to go. I'm open to new and abundance and love and good things. And so, again, washing windows, that's a wonderful activity that brings good energy into your house, is keeping your windows clean. So, hey, if you just do one window, okay, or clear out one closet, one door, one drawer, one day at a time. You can't empty the whole thing at once, but definitely opening the windows and clearing the energy will definitely help for sure. So anyway, so who we got here? Stephanie. So, Stephanie, there's a grandma and grandpa people here, and they look like kind of like those folks from the American Gothic painting. They have a dog with them too. So your grandfather says, "Don't be a worrywart." Worry is fear, and fear is lack of faith. Okay, so if we really had faith in something bigger than you, whether you want to call it universe, God, whatever, that even when we don't know what's going on, there are things going on behind the scenes. And it's not always in my time, it's in the divine time. So worry is fear, and fear is limiting. Okay, fear is a smokescreen. So yeah, let go and let God. It's easier said than done. Okay, but why don't you go make a to-do list rather than worrying about things and get to work on that? Things we actually have control over that we could be doing while we're sitting there worrying about things. Anyway, it's very cute, Stephanie. They're very cute. So Grandpa says, stop being such a worry wart. So I don't know what sign you are. If you want to respond on here, that's great. I don't know what sign you are, but I feel like you're micromanaging. So that's Virgo, sometimes Capricorn, Geminis. So yeah, I know you want it in your time, but you got to kind of let go of the need to be so controlling. Aw. Oh, Capricorn, of course you are. Okay. The funny thing about Capricorns is they like things to add up. And the problem with life is 2 plus 2 is not always 4. 2 plus 2 is sometimes 6. Okay? Because it's 2 plus 2, plus there's a rithral, this other 2 in the universe out there that you're not always going to take into the equation. So nothing always adds up. And that's the beauty of it, is that nothing is concrete. But see, that doesn't bring you peace. That brings you anxiety when things don't add up. People don't add up. This is why Capricorns have a very hard time with people and they love animals. But yeah, so your grandpa wants you to know that he's got a dog with him. He just wants you to know that. But stop worrying. Let go and let grandpa. So if if you have a hard time with God or creator or universe, so what you should say is let go and let grandpa help you. Okay? They're on it. They see what we need, but it's not always in our time. That's funny. He's waving at you. Grandma's just standing there. She's not saying anything. But you're not really supposed to get any more animals. No more pets. Because I feel like you need to get more adventuresome and go out in the world with real people and start creating some experiences. Okay? Capricorns love their cave. They love that. But we need people, Stephanie. Okay? If all I have is my own thinking, it can get squirrely in there real quick. Okay? I'm delusional. So even though we may not agree with people, I love having conversations because I care about how they see things. I want to know how they see things. And then I share how I see things. And somewhere between those two truths is a greater truth. So, we can't, we can't just have our own opinion because, everybody has an opinion, and it's nice when we can share those perspectives so that we can, and that's why we need other people because their thinking helps keep us sane. Thank you. We all have control issues. We're human. And that's it. So my way, I found out, isn't always the best way. And so when I let go and let God, way better things happen. I can push for what I want, but when I've had to let go of a situation, come to find out a whole nother opportunity comes from another direction. It was way better than what I wanted in the first place. So I've learned to trust that. It's learning to trust, build a relationship with that divinity, of your understanding, whatever that is. So if you want to call it grandpa, great. He's over there helping you for sure. Oh, he said he was a pain in the ass when he was alive. All right, Suzanne. Okay, Suzanne, I don't know if you're concerned about or worrying about a young man. I feel like you're hyper focused on someone else and their journey right now. Do you want to respond to that, Suzanne P? So when we're micromanaging other people, this is for this is for Suzanne. When we're micromanaging other people, we think we know what they need, but we don't necessarily. Okay, and all who wander are not lost. And when you get out of the way, sometimes another teacher will appear and give them guidance. Okay, or another perspective. So, yeah, let them, because I have to tell you, if somebody, well, and I've been micromanaged, okay, it made me oppositionally defiant, which means if you tell me what to do, I will do the exact opposite just for control, okay? So when I'm under somebody's microscope, it makes me want to do things to just piss them off. Okay, now I don't do this anymore. All right, try not to anyway. But yeah, so whatever the object of your focus is on what you think you need to take them off your radar. I don't know who it is, if it's a young man or who this person is, but maybe you're worried about somebody. Okay, but we want to just don't worry. They're going to be fine. So there's a woman like grandmother here for you. And I have a headache with her, so I don't know if she had a stroke or dementia or something going on in her head. She goes, "We're fine." So I don't know, is this person passed away that you're worried about? Or I don't know. All I know is your attention is focused on a person and it's almost to, like you're worried about them or just they'll be fine. But they got to do it their way. Okay, so you got to let them. I don't know if this is somebody you're related to or, somebody you're in a relationship with, but sometimes our need to help uh, is not necessarily helpful. Do you know what we're talking about here, Suzanne? This is so one sided. It's so hard. I will just write it down. Maybe it'll pop in your head later who this is. But there's definitely a grandma lady here too. And she's like, I'm helping them. I'm helping everybody. So you don't need to worry. Whoever it is you're worried about. Grandma's helping them. Okay, I'm going to talk to Denise. My husband told me when I was sleeping the other night, I woke him up saying, "Shut the hell up. I don't want to listen to it anymore." I have no idea what I was dreaming. Oh my God, that's hilarious. So it's interesting for sleep. If you talk in your sleep, you're actually not completely asleep. It's the lightest form of sleep. So you're technically almost awake. Um, that is so funny. So who are you talking to in your dream? Because I have full blown conversations in my dream time, and I wake myself up talking out loud because I'm always lecturing to somebody. So I do it in my sleep too. Oh, that's funny. I don't want to listen. So where in your waking life do you want to tell somebody to go shut the hell up? So if you're dreaming about telling people or setting a boundary or telling them to shut the hell up, you don't want to hear it anymore. Where does that apply in your waking life? Because you're obviously speaking up in your dreams, so maybe you need to speak up in your regular life too, in your waking life. That's funny. Oh my God, I love dreams. Yeah, I don't know, Suzanne. Just keep an eye out for it. So I feel like you're just worrying about somebody, but this grandma lady says she's helping everybody. So I don't know what they mean. Maybe that's something we can talk about if you call me. Yeah, I don't know. It's that's what I got. That's funny. Dreamtime has been so squirrely lately because of all the astrology going on and the new moon, and we shifted from Aquarius to Pisces. So Dreamtime is actually going to probably get more active now because Pisces is that place of inspiration. So everybody's having a lot of spiritual stuff going on. Okay, so that was. Hold on. I was actually talking to Suzanne Pickett when I was talking about the lady who tells you not to uh, worry about somebody's outcome. It's okay. Give me a call, and we'll something we can just. I'll give you a couple minutes on the phone. Just call me or text me with your number. Lori, I've been very, very stressed about a situation in my life, but have been trying really hard to have faith and trust that God will handle it. It's totally out of my control, but pray every day that. Well, yes, thank you, Lori. Right, when things are out of our control, the best thing to do is to let go and let God. That's easier said than done, okay? And people are grown. If we're talking about grown people, they're making conscious choices with their free will to do what they're doing. So sometimes our interference can really push things out of the divine order. And so, yeah, so just have faith, but it's going to be what it needs to be. That's the hard part is when people make choices that are harmful to themselves, okay? It's very difficult to understand that they actually are making conscious choices. Um, and whatever the consequences are to that, they're going to have to experience it because until things get painful enough, people think their way's working. So it has to get unmanageable before they'll change. And how painful does it have to get before we changed? Okay, so I can only imagine. I mean, I was so willful. And so again, all you can do is pray up for them to have courage and know that when it gets painful enough or unmanageable enough, people will ask for help, but not necessarily from you. And yeah, that's all we can do, Lori. Hold on. So when you get out of the way, another teacher appears. Like I had a conversation with a young man one day, and I told him, I said, I'm just offering you. He asked for my insight. I gave it to him, and he didn't like it. He didn't want it. I go, okay, well, good luck with that. And I said, but just so you know, I go, another teacher will appear. I'm not going to be the first messenger, nor am I going to be the last. So I swear to God, every single day, somebody out of left field showed up and said exactly what I said. To the point where he heard the message so many times every day in a row that he actually took action and got his shit together. It was amazing. It was a miracle. So again, when I deliver the message, I'm planting the seed. Okay. And then the universe will send somebody else to water it, and they'll send somebody else, and how many teachers, I mean, even this guy, as much as he did not want to hear that message, okay, could not ignore the message after 5 days. I mean, it was to the point where it was so obvious that it was divine that he actually listened. It was amazing. And that's where you just have to let go. Now, he could have easily not done it too, but that's a choice. The universe can't affect our free will. They can offer us suggestions, but whether we do it or not is purely up to us, and they can't interfere in that. And so, we play God when we're deciding what we want for people, what's best for them. We don't know what's best for them because they're on a secret mission between them and the universe. Okay. And some people have to trip and fall, end up in jail, or die before they wake up. And not that I want that for them, but all I can pray is for them to have courage or pray for them to have strength to choose better for themselves because they deserve that. Or I'll just say, I love you and you deserve better. And if you can't contact them, I write them a letter and burn it. I love you. I think you're amazing. I think you deserve more than you're giving yourself. And I burn it and I give it to God. And those intentions go out to the universe. So that's kind of how I look at that. So if there's something I can do for you, Lori, and you want to schedule some time, give me a call. I don't know how Donald's doing, but we're still praying up. So thank you, Dee Dee. Yeah, thank you for. Yeah, we have a member of the village whose son is in active addiction, and he relapsed and overdosed, but they did get him back. But we can only hope that we can only hope that he's done it before, and so he knows what to do. And all we can pray is for him to have the strength to make the harder choice to do what he needs to do. So we're just going to pray up for him. Okay, so thank you, Dee Dee, for that. But I don't know. I haven't heard today, but I know that he knows what to do. It's interesting, guys. A lot of people think that addiction and things like that are just because people are weak or don't. I have seen more addiction transpire because of trauma. Okay. So somebody experiences something traumatic in their life and then they become addicted to, um, the thing that makes them not feel okay. And, uh, so quite often we have, grief is a powerful process that um, underlies addiction quite often, losing somebody, not knowing how to process that emotionally, having systemic abusive things, those things have, and so addiction, isn't necessarily just a conscious choice to, be unaccountable. Most addiction, the core source of addiction is trauma of some kind, whether it's childhood trauma or, some awful thing that's happened. And so, we have to love people. We can't address the emotional stuff until we address their addiction. So that's why we need rehab. That's why we need, um, those programs because, we can't get to the underlying emotional stuff until we manage the physical addiction part. And so that's why if you guys can contribute to any outreach center that does that work, our whole country has experienced so much trauma that addiction is and suicide is rampant. So we really need to stay connected. People don't need your judgment, they need your compassion. So if you can help or donate, or just pray. So thank you so much for remembering, Dee Dee. All right, kids. My phone died, so I'm trying to look up the comments here on the video. Can you guys hear me? I hope you do. Anyway, I don't know where the comments. There we are. Yes, so thank you, Dee Dee, for praying for Donald. I put out that prayer request last night. So, all right, kids. Well, if you guys have any other questions or there's anything else you want to talk about, just get a hold of me on my website, which is mariannegoldweber.com, or you can call me directly at 216-324-2657. Thanks for letting me do a little channeling for you tonight. It's difficult when it's so one-sided, so I apologize, Suzanne. If you want to give me a call, just give me a call and I'll give you a couple minutes so that we can talk about whatever that is. And so, anyway, I hope you guys have a really great evening and stay inspired. If you guys have any ideas about how to do that, just keep posting on here, guys. This message board doesn't go away. And stay connected to each other. And I look forward to talking to you next time. So, I'm Marianne from a village, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks so much. Keep the faith.